Live from Harbor Station, it's the Vector Spaceman Show. Now, here's your host, Vector Spaceman.
Hello, Space Cadets. It's your old pal, Vector Spaceman. Once more, back at it again, man. Coming to you live straight from Harbor Station, broadcasting on all frequencies to our beautiful planet Earth. Now, whether you're watching us live or catching us after the show, don't you know we're glad to have you on board. Thanks for helping us make outer space the place to be. As we get set to rocket into another session of all the things we like to love and love to share here on the show, because today is Sunday, February 19th, 2023, you guys. Welcome back to the show, Space Cadets, and if you're just tuning in for the first time, welcome aboard. I'm Vector Spaceman. This is, of course, the Vector Spaceman Show, and it's time to strap in, Space Cadets, because we've loaded up for a long haul. It's our long overdue return to Elite Dangerous today, and we've got a mission, we've got a heading, we've got a flight plan, a manifest, so get those pre-flight checks in order, because today we're cruising at full impulse towards the iconic Hutton Orbital Station, a destination for any pioneering pilot looking to cross off their list of personal achievements. Stick around and get comfortable because this trip, it might just take a minute. Now, if you missed the last show, we tested out some new stream scenes and scenery and started the weekend off hectic with some good old-fashioned Fall Guys. We may not have grabbed crowns, but we made some new friends along the way, and isn't that the real victory, in a way? I was super pleased with how our new space basement scenes turned out, though, and you can be sure we're going to be making use of those shots when we've got friends on the show to co-host with us. Speaking of which, we may even have some special guests on the program as early as this week. Who could it be? Well, I guess we'll just have to stay tuned to find out. So, of course, if you want to stay up to date with all of our broadcasts so that you never ever miss a show, then be sure to follow Vector Spaceman on Twitter, YouTube, and of course right here on Twitch. So, Space Cadets, it's been a long time, perhaps too long, since we last returned to Elite Dangerous. I really do enjoy this game, as expansive as it can be, but I also recognize that endless cargo running can get a little monotonous, perhaps, which is why maybe we don't see a whole lot of it on the show these days. We've got a goal in mind today, though, one which fits perfectly into the mood of the Sunday shows. Today, we're going to be making a long-haul delivery to Hutton Orbital, the most distant station within Alpha Centauri, the closest star system to our own. Now, what's so hard about that, Spaceman? Well, I'll explain. It's time for a little space trivia, Space Cadets. So Alpha Centauri, for those unaware, is a star system, a real star system, composed of not one, not two, but three stars. Alpha Centauri A, B, and C. Alpha Centauri C, also known as Proxima Centauri, happens to be the one which is closest of the three to our own. And orbiting Proxima Centauri within the game world of Elite Dangerous, which of course models itself after the real-world Milky Way galaxy, is the mineral-rich planet Eden, and orbiting Eden is Hutton Orbital. Now, because of the navigational limitations of this game, making a jump to Alpha Centauri is always going to put us in proximity of Alpha Centauri A, which means that the only way to get all the way out to Hutton Orbital is to make the long, slow trek of 0.22 light years at impulse supercruise speeds, rather than the game's frame shift drive, which is sort of their made-up version of like light speed. Is it a needless in-game limitation? Yes. Now, is it something, tech jargon, gravity wells, yada yada? Probably, something like that. They can explain the reason why we can't make precise jumps however they like, but to trek out to Hutton Orbital, where pilots can pick up rare commodities that are only available at the station, has become sort of a piloting rite of passage within the game of Elite Dangerous. And today we intend to cross that off our to-do list. We're gonna get it done. The whole trip from Alpha Centauri A out to Hutton Orbital can take anywhere between an hour to an hour and a half. I've seen some people do it pretty quick. It all depends on one's own ship, piloting ability. I've got a handy dandy handwritten flight plan with us here, including calculations and speed adjustments and everything that we might need to make our first trip there as simple as can be. So hopefully we're not going to run into any issues. We're not going to get robbed along the way. We're not going to get blasted out of space. We're not going to get interdicted by pirates or anything like that. Hopefully it should be a pretty smooth ride. And so what are we going to do while we're staring into the depths of space? Well, we'll be chit-chatting with the Space Cadets, of course. Talking Elite Dangerous, talking anything that comes to mind, generally just having a fine Sunday afternoon as we try to put another notch in our spaceman's belt, as it were. Perfect opportunity to tune in, chill out, kick back, relax. Let Spaceman guide you through the whole wide expanse of our virtual galaxy. So let's get into it, you guys. It's time for pre-flight preparations. Next stop, Hutton Orbital. It's time for some Elite Dangerous. Let's go ahead and let's put on our gaming hands here, and let's head on over to the big screen. And here we are. And we toggle volumes. And we're in the game. Where are we right now, Space Cadets? Welcome back to Elite Dangerous. We are currently parked within the Spaceman 2. This is our ship here. The lovely Spaceman 2. Our Lakon Asp Explorer. In lovely factory standard blue. Because we can't afford any of the custom paint jobs because they want you to give real money to it. And who likes to do that, of course? A lovely ship. There's our Spaceman. Commander Vector Spaceman himself, sitting in the cockpit. And look there, we even got room for a co-pilot. If we were to ever get enterprising and try to find some other folks who like this game as much as we do. Now I hear you asking, Spaceman, we've got the Spaceman 2 here. What happened to the Spaceman 1? Well, interesting story about that, of course. On I think our last playthrough that we did of Elite Dangerous, or it might have been our second to last, we got blasted by the space cops. We got punched full of holes for smuggling some illicit goods. They didn't like us trying to get that past system security scanners. So we lost the original Spaceman 1. And this is our replacement ship. Still a wonderful, wonderful ship. We've got it kitted out at the moment with all sorts of cargo holds because we are doing a little trucking today as we are making our way to Hutton Orbital. We're not going empty-handed, and we're not coming back empty-handed either. So let's take a look here at what we've got going on. We are presently docked at Flayed Enterprise. This is a planetary station in, where are we? In the Epsilon Indi system. We're on the surface of a planet at the moment. We were here to fill ourselves up with mineral extractors, because of course Hutton Orbital, where we're heading out to today, orbiting the planet Eden, which even though it is, I think the surface temperature there is something like 1200 degrees Kelvin, it's classified as a mineral extraction site. So they've always got a need for mineral extractors. We can sell them for a tidy profit once we get there, and then of course because they produce minerals on site, we're going to be able to buy some metals on the cheap and bring them back to more habitable areas of the galaxy. And we're also going to be able to pick up some, how would you say, some limited, some rare, some specialty items that you can only buy at the Hutton Orbital Station. The most well-known, I think, the Hutton Orbital mug, a little commemorative piece, which I really think they should have implemented that as like a one of the little cockpit doodads that you can put on your terminal in front of your pilot. I know they've got stuff in game like bobbleheads and lights and things like that you can use to outfit your cockpit here, string it up, put it on the dash, that sort of thing. But the Hutton Orbital mug is just a standard cargo item. So unfortunately we don't get to look at it, put it on our dash, anything like that. We just get to know that we made the trip all the way out to the ragged edge of Alpha Centauri. Alright, so we have made all of our pre-flight checks here. We are completely... Look at that, even our paint job is at 100% integrity. We're ready to rock, we're ready to go. And after we've made it all the way out to Hutton Orbital and back, and the return trip should be a little easier because we can just jump to straight to another star system. I'm thinking we might upgrade our ship as well. We might make the jump to the next level of cargo craft. The Lakon Type 7. a very large sort of transport hauler, which should allow us to make even more cash, even more space cash, which is great. Alright, but the first thing we got to do is plot a course to Hutton Orbital. So we're going to open up the galaxy map here. Here we are at Epsilon Indi, and Alpha Centauri is just one little jump away from where we are right now. There we are, and we want to look at the system map. So as you can see here, representative of the real world Alpha Centauri, we've got Alpha Centauri A. These stars not appearing very bright on the screen at the moment. Alpha Centauri B and Proxima Centauri, aka Alpha Centauri C. And there is our little planet orbiting Alpha Centauri C. And orbiting that is Hutton Orbital Station itself. A lot of fleet carriers kicking around. A lot of player-owned fleet carriers. I guess to help make the journey a little easier for some folks. Alright, but we are going to plot a course straight to Hutton Orbital. Just one jump away from where we currently are. Just to save time, we made sure to set that up beforehand. Alright, we are ready to launch. Let's go. We're going to head back to the surface. It's time to begin our trek. Always a different experience launching from a surface station rather than an orbital station. Alright, and we have liftoff.
Ship released. Clear for departure.
We'll raise landing gear.
Gear retracted.
Alright. We have our heading. Let's start climbing out of atmosphere. Well, not atmosphere, I suppose, but out of range of this planetary mass lock at least. Give ourselves a little boost. We want to divert all power to our engines. Fantastic. Alright, we've escaped mass lock. We should be able
Frameshift drive charging.
to initiate our frameshift drive.
Way ahead is clear. Safe travels, Commander.
Let's get ready to jump. 3, 2, 1, here we go.
3, 2, 1. Engage.
Now traveling through witch space, the game's sort of approximation of like hyperspace or space between space, that sort of thing. And you can see we're reaching incredible speeds. Oh, here we are. Alright, we're slowing down. Now we are currently using... I'll let the music play for a sec. There's Hutton Orbital off in the distance, 0.21 light years away. Alright, we are going to refuel before we make our jump. Here we go. Fuel scooping. Make sure we don't take on too much heat. Because we don't want to run out of gas while we're on our way there.
Fuel scooping complete.
There we go. Now we're presently using, if I'm reading my meters right here, 1.55 tons of fuel per hour. So we should have more than enough to get all the way out to Hutton Orbital. And you can see the little estimation it's given on the screen there is that at our present speed, at just over 10 times the speed of light, we should get there in about 6 days. But we're going to continue to increase our speed. We should be able to get up to, let's see here, if we consult our flight guide, if we can get up to about 1900 or 1800 times the speed of light, then we should be able to get there within an hour and change or so. We're going to go ahead and scan the system just because we can, because we've never been here before. There we go. We found 9 planetary, or 9 bodies on the orbital plane. Going to continue to increase speed here. And as I said, we're going to try to throttle that up until we reach about 1800, 1900 times the speed of light. Did all of my audio just quit on us? Oh dear. What happens if I play station music? I can't hear the station music either. Oh dear. Okay, I think that we have lost our audio drivers. This is not great. This is not going to be good at all. Hello, Captain Enigma. Ahoy. Nice to see you. Alright, always an issue here on the program. Ever since we got this new Vector Space PC, unfortunately. I'm hoping you guys can still hear me. I am seeing our audio continue to output, which is good. Alright, here's what we're going to do then. We are going to make a full stop. Come to a stop. Your sound and game sound are still set up? Yeah, okay, so that's the issue. Unfortunately, this is the worst possible timing that we could have run into something like this. But we are going to go ahead and we're going to end the stream and we're going to be back in like 2 minutes. Alright? Bear with us. We just got to do a little reset here and we will be back momentarily. We're going to exit out of the game. Exit back to main menu. We're going to go back to the station screen. Here we are. Okay, so unfortunately we've run into audio trubs. Not on you guys' end, it's just on my end. I'm not able to hear anything that's going on, and that's going to be an issue. So, we are going to head off for just a second here. We're going to send you off to the outro screen, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Bear with us. We'll see you again real soon. Okie doke, I think we're back. I think it was just an OBS issue, unfortunately. Here we are, we're back. Welcome back, everybody. Make sure all of our stuff is still working. Pop a few emotes in the chat. Yep, that's still running, that's great. Okay, sorry for the brief interrupt there. Audio trubs. Just the worst. We are continuing on our quest to Hutton Orbital. Briefly interrupted there. Let's head back on over to the game screen here. Here we are. Where is game? There is game. Oh, can't connect to Frontier servers. Why would that? Okay, now it's back. Fantastic. All right, toggle on audio. There we go. Space sounds. That's what we like to hear. We're going to load up and we should find ourselves in the middle of space. Where we left ourselves. Commander Vector Spaceman of the Spaceman 2. Here we are. Fantastic. Alright. We've got no heading at the moment. Let's pull up navigation. Let's find... Should be way down near the bottom here. There's Eden. And surrounding Eden should be Hutton Orbital. There we go. Lock destination. Oh, geez. And there we go. We're off to a start. Now we need to get back up to Super Cruise. Let's boost because we need to get to about 1800 or 1900 times the speed of light if we can. We're still 0.21 light years out, which is to say that if we were traveling at just 1 times the speed of light, then of course it would take us 0.21 years in order to get there. The game is very realistic in that sense. But thankfully, it is unrealistic in the sense that it will allow us to surpass the speed of light when it comes to zipping around space. So right now, we're traveling at 135 times the speed of light, and it's estimating that it'll take us 12.5 hours to get there at this current speed. But we are going to continue increasing our speed, and that is going to help us. 160, 161, and climbing, so we'll just let that continue to climb. And what we really want to keep an eye on are contacts in the area. There's a low energy frameshift drive wake, but no ship contacts. That's great. The last thing we want to do is get interdicted, is get pulled out of Super Cruise and have to deal with some sort of pirates who are, of course, going to be after all of our precious cargo. We're currently laden with, where did it go? With 108 tons of mineral extractors, which we will be delivering to Hutton Orbital Station in exchange for a whole lot of silver, which we're going to be able to sell for a pretty tidy profit to the rest of the galaxy. Now, why are we making such a long trip out to Hutton Orbital, you guys? As we explained in the last portion of the stream before we got cut off there, Hutton Orbital is kind of like a rite of passage for space exploration. It's the furthest point out in the Alpha Centauri system, and you have to get there by flying manually. You can't just jump to it. I'm sure they rationalize that as, you know, interference with the 3 stars here in the Alpha Centauri system. Of course, modeled after the real Alpha Centauri system, which is always fun. We're gonna scan the system again. Womp. There we go. Nothing new. Keep an eye on contacts. System Authority vessel. Okay, nothing to worry about there then. So we're reaching close to 500 times the speed of light right now. And as you can see, our estimated time of arrival has now gone down to 3.5 hours, as opposed to the 12.5 that we were seeing a couple of minutes ago. So we start to cut down the time it's going to get there as we ramp up our speed. So if we can jack this thing up, this ship that we're flying here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Trying to show it off here. Our Spaceman 2, our ASP Explorer. Camera controls. There we are. If we can get this bad boy up to about 1800, 1900 C, then we'll be there in no time, no problem. It'll be our first successful run out to Hutton Orbital. We can pick up a Hutton Orbital commemorative mug and some Alpha Centauri gin, sell it off to the rest of the galaxy. And like I've said before, it would be really great if we could put that commemorative mug right on the dashboard or something. I think that's a missed opportunity for the game. Alright, now approaching 650 C. 2.5 hours to go. In total, the whole trip will probably take us like an hour and change to get all the way out there. So even though it's getting cut down at the moment, it is still going to take us a minute to get out there. But look at that, we've dropped from 0.21 light years down to 0.2 light years already. The distance is what really matters here. Now, it has been a while since we've been back into Elite Dangerous. But what I'm really enjoying about the game right now is they seem to be putting a lot more work into the sort of living world aspect of the game. Which is to say, events vis-a-vis the whole Thargoid conflict and NPC stuff. They're always putting out newsletters about what's going on within the game world, which I think is a really good way to keep people's attention and keep them interested in the game. Because there is a sense that you could just sort of dismiss the game as like a trading simulator, you know? Running from station to station, buying stuff, selling stuff, which is not a bad way to play, you know? I enjoy doing that sort of thing every now and then. But you want a little more intrigue, a little more adventure in your space simulation sometimes. And it seems like they've got some interesting stuff cooked up with the ongoing Thargoid conflict at the moment. Closing in on 850 C right now. A speed that we're going to try to drop to again when we get about 200,000 light seconds away from Hutton Orbital. We've got a handy-dandy little handwritten sheet here. It's going to help us control our deceleration, because that, of course, is one of the most important things you got to keep in mind when you're traveling at nearly 1,000 times the speed of light, is that you can't just keep going full blast all the way there. So we are now at about half of our max speed that we're trying to reach. Just over 900 times the speed of light. Our onboard computer estimating that at this speed it would take us about just under 2 hours to get there. But we're going to try to shave some time off of that. See, I read, and this is interesting, is that all of the ships in the game have the same maximum frame shift drive speed, which is 2001 times the speed of light. Which I think is a little underwhelming. It's a little disappointing. I think people would enjoy variable max speeds for different ships if we could kit them out, if we could boost them, if we could have a little more control over our engines and things like that. You know, because then you get situations like, you know, Star Wars type, you know, Kessel Run type scenarios where you want to be the fastest ship to make it out to Hutton Orbital or something like that, you know? Star Citizen, hey Indy, how are you doing? We just left Epsilon, Indy, the system that took us all the way here to Proxima Centauri, or Alpha Centauri. Proxima Centauri, the star that we're aimed at the moment. Nope, not quite Star Citizen, but Elite Dangerous. We're on a mission today, Indy. I hope you're well, by the way. Thanks for tuning in. We're on a mission to reach the furthest most point in the Alpha Centauri system, which, once again, trivia for you guys, our closest neighboring star system, made up of 3 separate stars. Not 1, not 2, but 3 stars. And Hutton Orbital is a little space station orbiting Alpha Centauri C, which, while the closest star to our own, is the furthest out once we jump into the system. And we can't just jump there like doing warp drive stuff. We actually have to fly all the way out there. We're currently estimating an hour and a half, 0.2 light years away, at our present speed of just over 1,000 times the speed of light. But we're going to try to boost that up to about 1,800, 1,900 C. Our whole trip should take us just over an hour or so. And why are we going all the way out there? Because it's kind of like a rite of passage. There's some cool stuff you can find at the station that you can't find anywhere else, little commemorative items. So it's a nice little to-do for pilots within Elite Dangerous. Are they still fighting the Death Flowers? Yes, yes indeed, I believe they are. But you know what? I was just talking about, I kind of dig the emphasis that they're putting on the in-game narrative these days. They're really pushing like daily or every 2-day sort of updates, stuff written from like the perspective of in-game NPCs and personnel and things like that. There's always stuff happening. There's community events. People are working toward, what would you say, endeavors to try and, you know, put down those Death Flowers for good. You know, whether that'll ever happen. You know, I think that they're kind of the forever enemy around here. But I at least like that they're trying to make it a little more engaging after the sort of flop that was the latest DLC for the game. They tried to release like an on-foot, like first-person companion DLC to go along with Elite Dangerous, and it just wasn't there, unfortunately. I think the space travel is still where it's at. Now, we are currently hauling 108 tons of mineral extractors out to Hutton Orbital, and we're going to exchange that for some quality silver that we can sell for a tidy profit. And then we might actually be improving our ship as well, making some upgrades, buying a whole new craft, a much bigger cargo hauler. Here we are piloting the Spaceman 2, our Lakon Asp Explorer. A nice ship, but at the same time, doesn't have all that interesting a profile. Kind of just like a big wedge of cheese. We turn on our lights, there we go. Space Legs were the best promotion for Star Citizen. I think Star Citizen does Space Legs a little better. Yeah. For Elite Dangerous, it wasn't all there. They kinda did all right with ship-launched fighters and with like planetary vehicles, that sort of thing. But I think the game really does best when you are your vehicle and not necessarily the person itself. You know, sort of make the screen, your own computer screen, sort of your view into the world, like looking out a window, that sort of thing. Now, we've never actually tried out Star Citizen. I'm sure I've mentioned that before, but now we don't really even have an excuse, because we've got this brand new Vector Space PC, which is all nice and powerful and kitted out. There's no reason that we can't try it out. So maybe we'll do that sometime. I know lots of people praise it. I think if there was any barrier, it was the kind of, I guess we were kind of put off by all the expense surrounding it, the real world cost of entry, selling better ships for real money and that sort of thing. Alright, we're no contacts. That's good. We don't want to get hijacked or robbed for all our precious mineral extractors. Not that we can't outrun some NPCs, but still. We don't want to break up our flow here. We don't want to drop out of 1,300 times the speed of light speed and have to ramp all the way back up, that's for sure. I think it also broke lore. Oh? Wasn't the base of this game, you, the pilot, were actually somewhere else and just like VC piloting the ship or something like that? I'm not 100% sure if they do, like, because I remember, what was it? Eve? Eve is the MMO. I remember Eve always had the premise that, like, oh, if you die, we've got, like, insurance clones and stuff like that, and I wonder if Elite Dangerous tried to do the same sort of thing. But, yeah, they always come up with something, some sort of conceit for why, you know, your ship can explode and you'll be fine and that sort of thing. Oh, actually, I think in this one they do, like, they just presuppose that you always make it to an escape pod, that sort of thing. But, yeah, spreadsheets online. I don't mind spreadsheets online as a concept. I think it's kind of cool. I just don't think... I think if you could make more adjustments to your ships, I'd be all over Eve. I always liked reading about the sort of battle reports from Eve, where people would be losing, like, tens of thousands of dollars of ships in these battles, in these fights between factions. I always thought that was pretty cool, but I feel like we're probably at a point where they've got in-game player monopolies on everything. It's probably not a great time to start playing Eve. You know what I think did it best? In terms of, like, player customization and that sort of thing. It seems like every space sim is always missing something. They're always almost there. They're always almost there. I'm big in for the visual and Eve doesn't have much visual. Yeah, that's a thing, right? Like all the ships, you can't really outfit them that much. They've definitely got their own sort of style too. But I feel like the best use of, like, player customization in one of these space games was probably No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky, you've always got that helmet on, so you're always obscured somehow in terms of, ooh, what could be under there? So you don't worry so much about, you know, player customization. I think that's good. I think these games should be more about, yeah, the ships, the exploration, that sort of thing. But on the flip side, No Man's Sky, you can't customize your ships. You just gotta find them, and you gotta be like, this one's good enough for me. You can't make any adjustments to engine. Well, sorry, you can't make any visual adjustments. I guess you can outfit them with different, components and what have you. But you can't change the way that they look in the same way that you can for, well, something like Elite Dangerous here. But then, of course, Elite Dangerous, if you want to do something like that, then you got to use their in-game currency, which means you got to grind or you got to pay them to do that, and it's just like, yeah. When is somebody going to crack the code here? Had a hard start in No Man's Sky, also more cartoony, and well, I guess there should be no surprise that we appreciate the more cartoony looks around here. You know, that's not necessarily a turn-off for us. One of these days, though, one of these companies is going to get it right. You take the nice, fun visuals of something like No Man's Sky, you take the expansive galaxy and the sort of semi-realistic spaceflight of something like Elite Dangerous. I mean, if there's something that I really love about Elite Dangerous, it's just like all the interactive bits that show up in like your cockpit and stuff like that. Like all your ship information. Like we could... Look at this, we've got onboard media control. We can make reboots to our systems if something goes wrong. We can make manual controls over everything, assign fire groups, mess with our modules, turn them offline if we don't need them. Like, for example, do we really need life support right now? I mean, it's using up 2% of our power at the moment. It's drawing a whole lot of power. I don't really know if we need it. Or, for example, we definitely don't need our fuel scoop right now. We could just turn that off if we wanted to. Because there's no star out here to scoop. Our pulse lasers, what are we going to do? Get in a fight? That we really should be keeping an eye on our fuel usage. We're currently using up 1.55 tons of fuel per hour. And I mean, this is another great thing. How much do we love these little fiddly meters and things like that? We're using 1.55 tons of fuel per hour. Now we know that it's going to take us under an hour to get out to Hutton Orbital, so we're not worried about running out of fuel because we've still got mostly a full tank. I like Elite's pits better than Star Citizen's. Star Citizen has lots of buttons. I like buttons. Like if there was one big project that I'd love to do, it would be to make a, like, cockpit setup with all sorts of manual buttons that we could use for space sims. I've seen some people do that before, where they've got the HOTAS throttles and sticks, and they've got, sometimes they use stream decks, or other times they use like actual physical switches and stuff to control things in-game. I think that's just the coolest stuff. They'll have like 3 monitors wrapping around them. That bangs, man. Alright, we have just passed 1500 C, and our estimated time of arrival will be in just under an hour. Now we are going to continue to try ramping up that speed to get close to 1800 or ideally 1900 times the speed of light. At that point, we can start worrying about throttling down. Once we reach about 3 million light seconds away, we want to be at about 1800 C. I've got a little checklist here so that we don't blow past Hutton Orbital by like a light year. It would be expensive, but just think. Sitting in it would be like piloting a Gundam or something like that is what it would feel like. You sit back in that chair, you got your levers on both sides, you got all your switches, very tactile. Well, you could even use it for, you know, traditional flight sims. Microsoft Flight Simulator, that sort of thing. That's what I'm still waiting on, I think. Is a super customizable, extremely like overly technical to the point of confusion. Spaceflight sim. That's what I want to see. Used to make money in Elite by scanning galaxies. See, that sounds fun. Do a little exploration. We're probably going to take some of the money that we make flipping silver from Hutton Orbital and put it toward picking up a new Type 7 transport hauler, which is going to like triple our storage capacity, which means we're going to be able to make even more money flipping minerals, which tends to be what we do. But I think just getting in something like a Diamondback Explorer or something like that, just jetting out into the stars, give yourself a fuel scoop, you know, just little ships with scanners, do a little exploring. There's still so many systems within the game that, you know, that people haven't visited. It's a galaxy, man. Every single star in the Milky Way galaxy, and then some. Still plenty to be discovered. I just imagine how it must have felt to be like one of those first few explorers in-game who found like Thargoid stuff, like planetary relics and buildings and stuff like that. As much as I'm not super involved with the narrative of the game, that must have been eerie. That's the kind of thing you want out of a space game. The unknown. Mining was always the meta, so we tried mining the last time that we hopped on to Elite Dangerous. And I think we got the hang of it. I think the one thing that we haven't really tried out is combat, really. But I don't know if we'd be any good at it. So we stick to long hauls, making trades, that sort of thing. I think a Hutton Orbital run is the perfect kind of content for a Sunday show. Just gives us a chance to relax, talk about stuff. We're just crossing over into 1600C right now. We're getting slower and slower speed gains, though. I'm not sure where we're gonna cap out. Technically, I think that every ship can get up to 2001 times the speed of light. But I don't know if we're gonna make it that far on our heavy little ship. We're completely laden with mineral extractors at the moment. Oh, and it looks like we're about to get an ad. Bear with us, you guys. We'll be back. Whoa, 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 whoa. Stay on target, stay on target. Whew. We're gonna let that ad run. We'll be back in about 30 seconds, you guys. And if you managed to avoid the ad, well done. Thanks for sticking around. Now, I'm sure I've read that people who do Hutton Orbital runs, they'll put like an audiobook or a podcast or just some music on just to kill time, because it doesn't seem like the most eventful flight, that's for sure. Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's man. Always popping up when you least want them. Alright, we continue to climb here. Once we get below 0.1 light years, and this is great. We started out 0.21 light years away from Hutton Orbital. We're already shaving that off. Keep an eye on our meters here. Still gaining speed. We're going to want to slowly throttle down. Once we get to about 3 million, 2.8 million light seconds out from Hutton Orbital Station. And then, once we get there, we're gonna drop off these extractors, we're gonna pick up some silver, we're gonna pick up some commemorative items, and we're gonna be making a jump to, let's see here, Dunyak Enterprise, which is in one of the Ross systems. Let's see, can we find it by searching stations? Dunyak Enterprise, Ross 490, yes. Which is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4? Is there a connection there? Ooh, we might actually have to route around a bit. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jumps away from Alpha Centauri. We used to run a lot between Dunyak Enterprise in Ross 490 and Springer Station in the Senlu system. That used to be like our quick little trip to flip silver. But Dunyak Enterprise sells a whole lot of, how you say, ships, including the Chieftain, which is one that I'm considering picking up. What is this here? What was that? A Banshee Eagle, System Authority vessel. Deadly. Okay. System Authority vessel, though, so we probably don't have to worry about that. Rank deadly. Let's lock back onto Hutton Orbital. And we're reaching just under 1700 C at the moment. Still estimating arrival in about 40 minutes or so. We'll probably get that down to about a half hour. But we got to take into account deceleration as well. So in a more realistic simulation of space travel, we'd have our ship here, and we would want to, like, basically flip it 180 degrees around and start burning fuel in the opposite direction in order to slow ourselves down slowly. But within this game, we've got something called inertial dampeners, which will sort of simulate a slow deceleration by letting out exhaust from the front of the ship to sort of slow us down. How we managed to do that, traveling at like 1700 times the speed of light, don't ask me. That's just how they rationalize it in-game. Not the most scientifically accurate, but you know what? It's fun. And you know what? I kind of appreciate what they do in Star Citizen for that reason, where you never really venture outside of that one star system that the game takes place in. That's a little more realistic. You're not zipping all over the place. You're contained, you're confined. Alright, we are struggling to get above 1700 C. We're ticking up 1 C every couple of seconds here. We're really gonna have to push it. And we're using a little more fuel than I had anticipated. But we still shouldn't have an issue getting all the way out there. They're about to open the Pyro system. A new system. Oh, so a new star system within Star Citizen. That's very cool. You're making me want to take a deeper look at it, Indy. Maybe we'll have to go for... Now here's a question. So I know you can... that there are different tiers of entry. And look at you, cheapest is $45. Indy over here, making sales pitches. I was just about to ask that. I was gonna say, I know that there are differing entry prices for the game, and you get different ships and stuff when you pay different prices. But if you buy just the entry level, like say it's $45 still, if it's still that, you get a basic little ship, you can still earn cash in-game to buy better ships though, right? Surely. It must be. You must be able to do that, right? Only problem is the wipes. Oh man, do they do server wipes every now and then? And just reset everybody? And then you get knocked down to like your purchase price equivalent ship, that sort of thing? That's kind of lame. And if so, I mean, how often do they do that? If it's enough of a problem that people are so familiar with it. They wipe less often now, and once the persistent universe is up, there won't be any more. Well, that would be great, but how long is that going to be? I mean, because I remember... Listen, it's easily been over 10 years since I first heard about Star Citizen coming out. At some point, you just gotta ship it. $1760C now. New signal source. What do we got here? What do we got here? Is the next update very close and they are behind on their update schedule? Oh, what a surprise, what a surprise. Because they are trying to get it to work. Well, I'm pulling for them. Listen, I'm not gonna, you know, just poo-poo Star Citizen because it's been taken forever. If there's one guy who wants another super cool space sim, it's this Spaceman. As soon as I hear that they're done and dusted and we've got a good product and no more wipes and that sort of thing, I'm gonna be all over it. Persistent universe means thousands of users on one server. Yeah, because, well, they probably do like it'd be an instance sort of thing, right? Where you might not always see the same people, but maybe you can purposely group up with them if they're on like a friends list or something like that. Like, it'd probably be like you see with MMOs and stuff like that, right? Where they've got instanced, like, shards, that sort of thing. Obviously, you can't have everybody on the same server. Those bells, we got like Star Trek music going on here. Oh no, it's a new thing? Each location will have its own server. Oh, okay, so you go to this planet and you're on that planet's server, so they don't even communicate with, you know, like what's going on the other side of the system or something like that. Well, nothing wrong with that. That's just gonna make things easier on them. Okay, we did it. We broke 1800C. Wait for it. Bam! There we go. Alright, if we could get that up to 1900, we would be flying pretty. And then we can start throttling down again. once we get below like 0.1 light year. Here we were worried about running into pirates, about dealing with all sorts of, well, I feel like when we're going at this speed, there's not much they could do to stop us to begin with. We've used up almost 2 whole ticks of fuel right now. But we still got plenty of gas in the tank. Gotta lurk a little while. No problem, Indy. Hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. We're just gonna keep flying here, paying attention to everything that's going on. You know, trying to knock this Chivo out. But thanks for chit-chatting with us. Hope we get to see you again real soon. Indigo Radio, everybody. Lovely friend of the show. Alright, take a quick drink there. And we are just over half an hour away. Which just might be, an accurate indicator here. Because we are going to have to start decelerating. Fairly soon, fairly soon. So we can ease into the station without, well, you know, without exploding all over the side of it. Without diving headfirst into a star. You know, it's kind of, like, I get that it's useful that you can't just ram stuff at light speed in this game, because people would be doing it all the time because they're ridiculous. But it does seem a little lame that all the ships have these safety measures that means that they automatically drop out of super cruise when they get close to a mass object, something like that. You know, writers trying to contrive ways that we don't all turn ourselves into ballistic missiles. It's gotta be tough trying to manage players as a science fiction writer. Alright, we're getting close to 1850 here. We might actually break 1900C. Now this seems like it could be a challenge. Could we actually get to max speed, the 2001C, then slow down and make it to Hutton Orbital? I feel like we probably could not. That we'd probably blow past it. But if there was a ship that could accelerate faster, like it took us, how long have we been doing this here? It took us like 40 minutes to get up to this speed. If you could get to 2001C within like a half hour or so, and then still have enough time to slow yourself down, that'd be a pretty decent challenge. I wonder if any ships could handle that. I wonder what it would take. Now, I mentioned fuel is a concern here because you don't want to have to call on the fuel rats. You guys don't know about them. They're like the coolest thing in Elite Dangerous. The fuel rats are this group of volunteer players that go out and help stranded pilots that have run out of gas or have gotten trapped somewhere. They'll go out and they'll bring them fuel limpets so they can refuel and be on their merry way. And they do it for free. They're an all-volunteer group. And they're like the coolest dudes. Alright. We've stopped measuring things in light years. We are now measuring distance in light seconds. So we want to Alright, the ship is automatically decelerating. As you can see there, we've dropped from 1825 to 1824. At about 2.8 million light seconds away, we want to be sitting at about 1800 C by my calculations. So we'll make adjustments depending on where we're at. We'll just let it ease itself off automatically right now. And I believe the reason that it is dropping speed already is that we have this Super Cruise module. Super Cruise Assist, yes. So if we were to turn that off, then that probably wouldn't be happening. We'd have to take a little more manual control. But we'll let it do its thing for now. We'll make adjustments as we need to. Even with Super Cruise Assist, it is still possible to blow completely past your target. Okay, we seem to be pretty close though. Just over 1800 C, coming down to 2.8 million light seconds away. That's where we want to be. And then by the time we get to about 2.1 million light seconds, we want to be cruising at about 1700 C. So we'll see how that adjusts. You can actually hear the ship decelerating as well, which is interesting. We're effectively just reverse thrusting at this point. I'm willing to guess, though, if we were to take a look at the back of the ship. Yeah, our thrusters are still going there. But have we got our forward thrusters going? Did they show them off at all? I think that's supposed to be them there, or is that supposed to be our lights? That's our lights. It would be nice, like, when we've got our side thrusters here going, it would be nice to see them activate, like, in-game, when you're making maneuvers and stuff like that. Okay. We've crossed 2.8, we're below 1800 C, looks good so far. Make another speed check here. At 2.1 million light seconds, we want to be at about 1700 C. So we'll either speed up or speed down depending on where we are when we get close to that. Check our contacts again. Nothing in range. As we slow down, we'll become more susceptible to piracy. We are, of course, carrying a full load of mineral extractors, which we're going to sell for a tidy profit. We'll probably get close to 200,000 or 300,000 credits for that. And then we're going to load up on silver, which once we get back to the galaxy proper, we should be able to sell for around 1 million credits, which should be nice. Not the, the biggest haul that anybody's ever done. But since we were coming out here anyways, we might as well get something for our troubles, right? This is why you really got to pay attention to your speeds and your distances here. Because we could still speed up. And any player would be like, oh man, I'm still like 2.5 million light seconds away. Of course I'm gonna speed up. Get me there faster. I ain't got time to wait around for 24 minutes. Come on. But here's the thing. You speed up, you're gonna blow right past that thing. You're not gonna have time to slow down. This is all calculated here. If we were to hit full stop right now and just drop to 0, I actually wonder how long it would take for us to slow down completely. Because if we knew that, then we could keep a higher speed for longer and make like an emergency brake when we get close to Hutton Orbital. But it does take time for us to slow down as much as it does for us to speed up. So we're going to go by the guide here. We're gonna go by our flight chart. Now, judging by where we're standing right now, we might actually have to manually slow down just a little bit more. But we'll see, we'll see. Oh, look who it be if it ain't the Hero King Soul. How are you doing, Soul? Happy Sunday. Welcome to the program. We're playing some Elite Dangerous today. We're making a very, very long run on our way to Hutton Orbital, a station at the far edge of Alpha Centauri. The nearest star system to our own, in fact. We're heading to a station that is 0.22 light years away. We have been flying right now for almost an hour, and we've still got about 20 minutes left in our journey, it looks like. Screw that time for Rocket League. Rocket League might be a little more exciting, but this one's a little more technical, a little more gripping for me as a player. Sort of a rite of space flight passage within Elite Dangerous. Something to cross off your bucket list, your to-do list. It's almost like what they say about climbing Mount Fuji. That it's something you only really do once. That you'd be silly not to do it once, and you'd be silly you'd be silly to do it more than once too. Now we're just monitoring our distance and our speed at the moment. Currently traveling at 1727 times the speed of light, and we want to get that down to about 1700 C by the time we are 21 or 2.1 million light seconds away from this station. Understandable, you do struggle at competitive games that aren't Halo, and why is that? Why could that be? Why would we be super good at one game and not other games? It just doesn't make sense, Soul. It just doesn't make sense. Time to fly spaceships about it. But how are you doing today, Soul? You just got home. Hope you get to enjoy the rest of your weekend, the rest of the little bit of the weekend that you got. Maybe because everyone else is bad at Halo. Oh, that could be it. That could be it. Yeah, everybody else is just bad. Man, imagine being bad at games. Ugh, can't even imagine. All right, looks like our deceleration is still on point, though. Let's show off our Spaceman 2 here. The successor ship to the Spaceman 1. What happened to the Spaceman 1? Well, it got blown up by space cops, unfortunately. We took it in a little hot, a little laden with contraband into a station, and kind of got impounded. You know what's cool? We're actually seeing damage to the paint job from this trip. All these little space particles are tearing away at the hull. That's detail right there. That's pretty cool. Bring that energy to Apex, I'll carry you like a baby. Apex does seem kind of rad. Alright, next mark on our flight log here, we've got to get down to about 1600 C by the time we hit 1.6 million light seconds. Okay, so that's going to continue to drop. We'll just let it ease. This one might be the point where we have to make the most adjustments. We'll see how it goes. But otherwise, we're expected to arrive in about 20 minutes. We'll pick up some commemorative items from Hutton Orbital, some cargo, a whole bunch of silver, and we'll take it back to the galaxy and sell it off for some sweet cash, some sweet credits. We've still got more than enough fuel, it looks like. This is great. I've done the line art. Oh, what are you working on here? I've done the line art of 4 out of 22 drawings. I'm trying to get ready for the 28th. Nice. Soul, of course, working on his special projects, his special plans. We can't wait to see him. But hold on, 4 of them. 4 out of 22, and you want to get them done by the 28th? Soul, it's already the 19th. You're gonna have to hustle, bud. I need to rush the heck out of myself, so once I'm done eating, I will start that up immediately. Yeah, that's probably for the best. Looks like our speed might be dropping a little too fast here. Might have to throttle up a bit. Keeping a close eye on all these gauges. This is kind of what I like about Elite Dangerous. Makes it pay attention to what's going on. You're not just flying your ship around like it's a plane, but in space. I mean, you kind of are doing that, but there's a little more to it than that. Star Fox, kind of like Star Fox. Yeah, we got to use the boost to get through. Hold on, check it out. We're going to do a barrel roll, Soul. We're doing a barrel roll. We can just barrel roll the whole way there. It doesn't really impact us. Actually, I think we might be using a little extra fuel while we're doing that, so maybe we don't. And it could make us dizzy. We could get motion sick. So let's ease out of that roll there. Straighten up. Fly right. Half of your viewers will end up leaving, right? You don't want to give people headaches. Alright, closing in on 1.7 light seconds away. Sorry, 1.7 million light seconds away, I should say that. And I might have been wrong about our speed calculation. We might actually be going a little fast. A lot more people have sensitive stomachs than I thought. Some people, though, right? Some people. Though, to be fair, I remember when I was like a little kid. You remember, like, at the park, at the playgrounds, there'd be like tire swings. I remember tire swings, the ones that were horizontal, where it'd be round and it would have chains leading up to a fixed point, and you could like swing around on it. And what mostly seemed to happen is that people would spin you on it. And I remember getting spun on that as a little kid, and that really set me off. Yeah, the spin, 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 spin. But that's, you know, that's extreme examples. Just like driving in a car or looking at a screen or something like that. That stuff never really bothers me. Okay, we're a little over speed right now, but that's fine. We can manually decelerate if we have to. Our next milestone is going to be 1.2 million light seconds. We want to be cruising at about 1500 C. We'll see where we're at. I'm in Spain without the A. You get in Spain without the A, then you wind up in Spain without the S. Oh, I can tell you in this special, I'll be showing off 2 other people related to Soul. More lore, more character stuff. That's what we'd like to see, Soul, working on your brand. Soul, of course, fellow virtual streamer, you guys, working on a special. Make sure you check him out. Yeah, I can't wait to see what you've been working on the 28th. Hope to get people hooked on it. I'm sure people will love it, whatever it is you're working on. Your secret surprise? Hi, Vector and Soul Zero. How are you doing? Welcome to the program. Maybe you've been lurking. Maybe you just tuned in. Either way, welcome to the show. It's Elite Dangerous. Today we're making a long-haul journey out to Hutton Orbital, the furthest space station in Alpha Centauri. We have to actually fly there manually, which is a pain, but it's worth it. It's kind of like a rite of passage for pilots within the game. It's our first time being there. We're gonna pick up some commemorative gear, some swag, load up on silver, take it back to the galaxy, make a quick buck. I'm good, just it's not slapped. What does that mean? Is this lingo? Is this some newfangled things? Oh, slept? I did sleep, it was more like a nap. A sleep slap. Slept. You didn't slept, okay. I gotcha. Well, it's a Sunday, you know? It's a day for being, it's a lazy kind of day, right? Voice to text in, oh, that's an interesting way to interact with it. I've never tried that. I've never tried out doing voice to text. I think I remember there being a feature, a voice to text feature on like a really old laptop I had back in like the early 2000s. And it wasn't very good at the time, and so I just never tried using anything like that again. But I'll bet it'd be very, very useful for like note-taking and like if you're writing stuff. Actually in the future, wow, future travelers, you guys. I have dyslexia, so it's just easier and Windows has it built in. Nice. Ease of use functions. Accessibility stuff, we love it. Man, I'm actually really surprised by how on point our deceleration is right now. We're coming up on 1.2 million light seconds. We want to be cruising at about 1500 C when that happens. And we're kind of right there. We might be going a little fast. Oh, we don't want to throttle down that much. There we go, that's better. That's better. Whew, good thing we saved that. Alright, next milestone, 900,000 light seconds. We want to be cruising at 1400 C. Let's see if we can hit that. We're almost at under a million light seconds away, you guys. We're getting close, we're getting real close. We're gonna be coming in soon. Check our contacts again. Nothing in range. For the mug. What the heck is this? A tourist beacon. Oh, we gotta check that out then. These are special locations that typically hold historical significance and are often sought out by explorers. To find out more about exploration, check the pilot's handbook, link below. Oh, we gotta check that out then. Salvageable wreckage. Ooh. Point of interest. And then we got a whole lot of parked fleet carriers around here. Zero saying, how you doing today? You know what? I'm doing all right today. As I said, it's a lazy kind of Sunday. It's the perfect kind of day to make a Hutton Orbital run. A sort of rite of passage for Elite Dangerous pilots that we've never done before. Thankfully, I've got a flight chart next to me here that's helping us calculate our speed so that we don't overshoot it. Unlike most places in the game. We can't just get there by jumping straight to it. It's too close to its own star. Here we are in Alpha Centauri, which is actually A, but we can pull it up on the galaxy map here. Or the system map, that'll make it easier. Alpha Centauri, so, is a real star system made up of 3 stars. And it is the closest star system to our own. A little space trivia for you. It's made up of Alpha Centauri A, Alpha Centauri B, and Alpha Centauri C, also known as Proxima Centauri. And we are trying to hit Hutton Orbital, which is, in the game, a space station orbiting a planet around Alpha Centauri C. But when we jump to this system, we always get placed right next to the main star, which means we have had to travel all the way out here. All the way past Alpha Centauri B, onward to Proxima Centauri, and then on to Hutton Orbital Station itself. And we've had to do that all just with our engines, not our warp speed diddly-doos. Oh, there we are, we're under 1,000,000 light seconds away. So, 900,000, we should be at 1400 C. We're a little fast. Just toggle down a bit. And that should be, yeah, right about perfect. Vector, do you play soccer? Because you're a real keeper. Aw, thanks, Soul. Thanks, Soul. Nice, nice puns, bud. I used to play soccer when I was growing up, though. I feel like all kids did. Get roped into a whole lot of team sports. Funny, I was just watching Star Wars Bad Batch, and now I'm watching you. Lots of space stuff that I'm watching today. How is that show? That one's all about, like, clones during... I used to know a ton about Star Wars. I'm not sure if my knowledge is still considered up to date. But that one's all about, like, clone troopers during Imperial times, right? Quite enjoyable? Nice, nice. Nice to hear it. Oh, that just reminds me that I still have not gone to see a film in theaters since The Rise of Skywalker, which is not the film that I want to be the last film that I ever saw in theaters. So I gotta go find something else to watch. I was thinking I might go see that Ant-Man movie. Then I heard it's not great. Now I don't know what to think. Also, I got very used to just watching films online. So that kind of disincentivizes me from going to the theaters anymore. Okay, our next milestone here, 650,000 light seconds. We want to be cruising at about 1300 C. Set just after Order 66. Yeah, and it's got, like, their... Like, they don't just look like regular clones. They've all got their own sort of thing going on. That's the idea of the Bad Batch, right? They're like mutants, or not mutants, but I guess they're distinct in some way. They're not quite clones. They've got their own peculiarities, something like that. I mean, it's no wonder that all the new media for Star Wars is sort of set during that era. Either just before the original series or just after. Because that's what everybody likes. That's like the most iconic. Alright, we want to crank up our speed just a bit. That should be fine. Unique Clone Trooper Experiment. Okay, so that's what it is. Give him a little more distinction. Oh, I did see... What was it? Andor. I thought Andor was pretty good. Although I did feel like they spent maybe 1 or 2 episodes more than they needed to in that prison set. No spoilers, but that kind of went on for a while. I enjoyed the Clone Wars series and Rebels series. I saw some of Rebels. I think that one was just a little too goofy. Or at least the ones that I saw. Haven't seen that one. Andor was pretty good. Andor was pretty good. Alright, we are dropping fast here. 500k. We want to be about 1200. We're gonna have to pay more attention here. We do not want to overshoot our target and have to whip around, come back around go around the outside, as it were. We're getting closer and closer now. Take a drink. Focus here. No, I feel like Andor and Mandalorian was alright. Kinda didn't love all the Grogu stuff, but whatevers. It was nice scenery at least. Didn't enjoy the Resistance. What was the Resistance? Resistance. That wasn't the one where they've got like racing ships or something like that, was it? If that's the one I'm thinking of, I never saw any of that. Alright, we're targeting 375 at 1100C. But you know what, that one probably also didn't have much going for it in the sense that it's set like around the sequel series time. And there's like very little written about that, very little interesting for that era, it seems. They kinda, you know, they didn't get the reaction they wanted out of it, it seems, and then they didn't commit to it. I think there's one Star Wars thing that I kinda like the concept of. It's that High Republic stuff. But again, I don't think that they're committed to the setting. They wrote a few books. People were kind of like, and they're not as into it as the other stuff. But who knows? I thought they were making a game set in that High Republic era, so maybe we'll see more of that, more out of that. All right, we gotta toggle down. Show me 375. Alright, that should be fine. That should be fine. 300k. I'm gonna drop another 100C. It's set after the fall of the Empire and before the rise of the First Order. Yeah, so sort of that middling period. But I feel like it's that one seemed like it was closer to the First Order stuff than, say, like Mandalorian, right? Which takes place like right after the fall of the Empire. Like it's much more recent. You still see stormtroopers and Imperial holdouts and stuff like that. Apparently that's why they want new series of movies set in the High Republic, or at least that's what I last heard. Yeah, new movies or games or something like that. I feel like it's a good premise for a setting, but they just gotta commit to it. They just gotta start making real stuff for it, instead of just like, you know, a few books here and there, some comics maybe. I want to drop. A few more C. There we go. Oh, dropping. Alright, 200k, I want to be 900C. Here's where we have to make manual adjustments. Our onboard flight assistance is decent at what it's doing, but again, we don't want to smash head first into the station. Alright, we have crossed below 1,000 times the speed of light. We are cruising into Hutton Orbital at this point. and we'll get to see it shockingly easy to get out of here as compared to how long it took to get here. Because even though we can't jump straight to Hutton Orbital, we can jump away from it to other star systems. Estimated time of arrival, about 5 minutes. So in total, it's been taking us about an hour and a half, because we had to stop the stream a little bit before we relaunched. We were having audio issues. Which means more editing work for Spaceman. Hopefully they use Ahsoka in anything going forward, because that's a character I enjoy. I feel like, yeah, a lot of people like the Ahsoka character, especially people who watch the Clone Wars series, which is where she's from, right? I think if you had just seen... Here's the thing, though. If you had just seen the films, which I feel is like most people, this is my perspective. I didn't see the Clone Wars series growing up. Like, that was after my time with Star Wars. And, you know, so people, like, older than me definitely wouldn't have seen it. But they'd still have seen, like, the original films and probably the prequels, that sort of thing. I feel like Ahsoka's kind of a weird character. There's all this information about her, and she's been in all this content. But you'd be hard-pressed to find people who, like, know what she's about, unless they've seen, you know, those series. So she shows up, like she showed up in The Mandalorian, right? Or was it Book of Boba Fett? It might have been both, actually. But she shows up, she does her thing, and it's like, oh, cool, new character. But it's not new character, no, this is established character. And I don't know, that might be a little confusing. But she is getting her own show, right? So maybe that, I don't know, maybe that'll help some people. Or you know what, maybe Star Wars just isn't being made for old folks anymore. It's for the new kids. Started in the Clone Wars, a character created to be hated. Oh, jeez. Oh, and she was in both. Okay, great. Yeah, I was trying to remember where I had seen her in Mandalorian or Book of Boba Fett, but then I remembered that they did Mandalorian stuff in Book of Boba Fett. So yeah, kind of both. Hold there at about 700 until we cross 100,000 light seconds. And we are dipping below 100,000 light seconds. Look at that. First it was sub-million, now it's sub-100,000. We are getting there. We're just a few short minutes away from station time. Alright, 50K, I want to be about 500C. Checking contacts. No contacts in range. Alright, we're not gonna get interdicted. We're not gonna get robbed for all our valuables today. No, sir. We got mineral extractors on course for Hutton Orbital. Yeah, I thought she was getting her own series. Like, you see those big walls of, like, logos that they put out at their, like, Star Wars celebration events and things like that. Seems like they got a lot of stuff in the works, but then you never see half of it. Hey, Anar. Hello, hello. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Sunday. Hope your weekend's going well. You're just tuning into the last leg of our trip today. We've been flying for about an hour and a half almost, on our way to Hutton Orbital, the furthest most point in the Alpha Centauri system, where we have to fly manually. We can't just jump straight to it. What a concept. We have to actually be pilots for once. Alright, I want to maintain speed here. I want to speed up just a bit, please and thank you. Okay, we're good, we're good. 40K, we want to be hitting about 400C. We're starting our deceleration at the moment. Okay, we gotta manually decelerate there. 30K, we want about 350C. Got our flight charts next to us here, helping us calculate this. Space trucker on the very open road though. We got a full load of mineral extractors we're taking with us. We're gonna flip those for some silver. Alright, but our speed is on target here. We just don't want to overshoot it, is the thing. We're gonna pick up some commemorative stuff that we can only get at Hutton Orbital. It's kind of like a rite of passage for Elite Dangerous pilots to have made it all the way out here. Alright, 20k, we should be good at, say, 275. That's good. Next up, 10k. Want to be hitting about 175c. When you're traveling at intervals of the speed of light, you don't want to overshoot your target. That's the thing. Thank you, Zero. I will take that drink. Everybody at home, let's indulge. Quickly though, 3, 2, 1. Clink. Alrighty. 10k, 175. We are dropping speed, checking contacts. Nothing in range, that's great. Don't want to get pirated at this point. And throttling up just a bit. There we go. Decent. Alright, 5k, we can come down to 100c. We'll just let it ease off at the moment. Recenter our reticle here. Want to stay directly on target. So the other thing we got to keep in mind here is that planets actually move. Like, stuff actually orbits in this game. Now, we've only been traveling for like an hour and a half, so it's not going to have orbited that much, but it does still move, which is kind of cool. Alright, we're below 100 times the speed of light. 3k. At 3,000 light seconds away, I want to be about 70c. We'll decelerate a bit just to be sure. That's good. Very good. At 2k, we want to be at about 50c. Love those bells, very Star Trek-esque. Wow. That's wild that stuff actually travels around the map. Yeah, well, if you set yourself down on a planet and just park there, you can actually see yourself, or see the planet you're on, orbiting its star and stuff like that. It's pretty rad. I mean, it takes a while, depending on how far away you are from the source star and what have you. Alright, at 1,000, we want to be about 35c. That's good. We are below 1,000 light seconds from our target. We are coming in now. Alright, 500 light seconds away. We want to be at about 20c. We're getting much closer now. Alright, our Super Cruise Assist is doing some of the work here. We gotta throttle down. We're coming in too fast. 250, I want to be at about 18. Alright, that should be fine. Throttling down just a little bit. 100 light seconds away, we want to be at about 10 times the speed of light. Alright, we are coming in too fast. We gotta slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. There's Hutton Orbital. Slowing down, slowing down. Wait for it. Wait for it, wait for it. Too fast. Alright. Well, we overshot it, but we didn't crash. That's kind of a victory. A victory, if you will. Line ourselves up with Hutton Orbital again. Orbiting the planet Eden, which is very hot and full of minerals, which is why we can get silver for so cheap here. They did do super well with this game. Except for the latest expansion they did. Not a lot of people like that one. That's because it was all first-person stuff instead of space stuff, which is where it really shines. Victory! Well, thank you, Merrick. Or Mary Kylo. Let me know how we're gonna pronounce that. But welcome to the show, our latest and greatest space cadet. Hello, I'm Vector Spaceman. This is the Vector Spaceman Show. We're on our first way to Hutton Orbital today, our first ever trip out to the depths of Alpha Centauri. And Viggs, our latest and greatest space cadet, not to be undone. How do you do? Thanks for tuning in today. We're here to get some mugs. We're here to drop off some mineral extractors. We're here to buy some silver and flip it for a tidy profit. Maybe buy ourselves a new ship. All right, we're not gonna overshoot this time. We're coming in nice and steady. Marikilo, gotcha. All right, come on, we can get closer, we can get closer. Press J, there we go, we're disengaging, and let's make the call. Here we are. Hutton Orbital Station, you guys. Why does it look like it's on fire? Those are just lights. That's just blurring lights. Okay. We're in range. Let's call in a docking request. Whoops.
Docking request granted.
Awesome. I love when my docking request is granted. And we're looking for landing pad 3. We disabled our docking assist, so we're gonna go in manual. All right, everybody, keep an eye out for docking pad 3. Where are you? Where are you? Did we pass it? Did we completely pass it? Ah, nuts. Or is that it on top? That ain't it on top, Spaceman. Come on. Were we upside down the whole time? Landing pad. Oh, jeez! What did we just hit?
Offline.
I know they're offline. Thank you. All right, all right. Full stop. It's not an interior, is it?
Scan detected.
Yeah, of course we're getting scanned. They actually have interior docking here? Surely not, right? No, that says no entry. That says Bay 1. Just a little scratch. Yeah, we were gonna have to update the paint anyways. Alright, let's turn our lights on here. Maybe that'll help. Bay 1.
Shields online.
Thank goodness. Alright, where is docking bay 3? Because I can't find it. This is why we really should reinstall that docking assist. Alright, let's boost out here. Let's take a look at the system from a distance. Or the station from a distance. It's too dark. There it is, there it is. It's gotta be that one that's highlighted, right? Although that says 1. That says docking bay 1. We're looking for docking pad 3. We can't just steal theirs, can we? Docking pad 3. Where are you? 3. Where are you at? Oh, we're looking terrible. We're looking terrible today. Alright, 1. Oh, there it is. Where's that 2? 3, yay! Okay, so everything's all wonky here. Stuff's at different angles. Man, and I thought flying here was gonna be the hardest part. Turns out it was landing. Alright, we're coming in. Landing gear deployed. Doodly-doo, what was that? Orange Onion, our latest and greatest space cadet, thank you so much. Welcome to the program.
Gear deployed.
Yeah, I know it's deployed, we just put it down, come on. Alright, we're coming in manual, let's do this. Ah! You'll never get to be a better pilot if you don't land manually. Ah! Alright, slow and steady. right over the target. There we go.
Docking
Beep.
successful.
Like a
Engines
glove.
disengaged.
First try. We did it, you guys. And we're here, Hutton Orbital Station. It is built like a Rubik's Cube. You're absolutely right, Anar. Woo! Von Locke, seems like this place could use an air traffic control. Yeah, a little more direction would be great. Or some more lights. That would definitely help. It'll buff right out. Actually, let's take a look here. Alright, so we're here at Hutton Orbital, you guys. This has been our great mission for the day. Good job, Spaceman, you did it. Hooray! We made it all the way here. Woo! Alright, we're gonna check this place out. Oh, but first, it looks like we're going to get stuck with an unskippable ad. So hold on a second, you guys, because we are gonna let that run and we will be back in 30 seconds. Alright, we will see you real soon. Ads, man, ads. Good job, thank you so much, Zero. Alright, if you were lucky enough to not get hit by the ad, we are here at Hutton Orbital Station. And we're gonna wait for that to play out. We're gonna take a drink. We're gonna take 30 seconds. It's fine. I tell you, if we could pay Twitch to not run ads, rather than having people pay to not see ads, we'd do that, because that would be a lot easier. Alright, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we should be back pretty soon. Welcome back! Ads, man. Talking about ads. Ugh. Twitch. Alright, so here we are at Hutton Orbital Station. Here we are. Where's my, There we are. Bada bing. That's us. In the lovely Spaceman 2. The replacement ship for the Spaceman 1, which got, you know, chewed up by the cops because we were moving some illicit cargo at the time. But look at that paint job, guys. That does need some buffing. Whew. So that's actually kind of cool. The fact that we were flying so long, getting hit by space debris, it actually chips away at the paint job. I've always found that to be a pretty cool feature. I just wish that they'd add more features when it comes to like customizing your ship and stuff. Like we're factory blue in our Asp Explorer right now because we don't have access to any cool paint jobs because you gotta pay real world money to get some of that stuff, which is a little lame. It's a little lame. I know you can earn some in-game currency doing in-game stuff, but I mean, they push you toward paying real world money for it. And it's already a buy-to-play game, so it's like, come on, man, pick a lane. One or the other. Alright, but we made it, you guys. We made it. First things first, we're gonna refuel. So we used about... probably used up a little over 3 tons of fuel. Not even a whole lot. We're gonna repair the hull. We are going to pull up Starport Services. We're gonna do a little more advanced maintenance here. We want to, oh geez, hull ship integrity is at 36%, paint work is at 36%. We're gonna repair all structural elements, which is gonna cost us 42,000 credits. Maybe, just maybe, we shouldn't have crashed into the side of the station. That probably would have saved us some change. Okay, that's done, that's that. We're gonna pull up the market and we are gonna sell off all of the mineral extractors that we have here, which, if you'll recall, we bought from the Epsilon Indy planetary station for something like 800 credits each, and we're selling them for this much. We're making a nice tidy, almost 250,000 credit profit. That's great. Now, because Hutton Orbital is located next to, check this out, if we pull up the system map, Hutton Orbital is located orbiting Eden, and Eden is a high metal content world with a metallic core. It's a industrial world. They take minerals out of it. That's great. Surface temperature 1200 degrees Kelvin, kind of hot. But the point is you can get metals for cheap here, which is great. We're going to pick up a buttload of silver from Hutton Orbital, and we're going to take it back to the proper galaxy and sell it off for probably around like 1 million or so credits. It should be good. Should be a nice little flip. And well worth our time coming out here. Well, I mean, we could have made money faster doing other stuff, but if we were coming out here anyways, then we might as well make some cash for our efforts, right? But the most important thing we can pick up here, check this out. If we pull up the commodities market, we can get the Hutton Mug, you guys. Delivered over vast distances by those in search of a profit, the Hutton Mug is only sold to commanders who make the painfully long journey, and it was, wasn't it, to Hutton Orbital, made from the salvaged frame shift drive plates of ships that run out of fuel before reaching the station. This is purely a vanity item commemorating the epic journey. Its value lies in its rarity and latent frame shift energies, keeping your drink that little bit warmer for the journey. That's great. We're going to get one of those. We can also pick up Centauri Megagin. Another item that you can only get here. Only thing is, we'd make more money, I think, buying and selling silver than we would buying and selling Centauri Megagin. Because if we take silver back to Dunyak Enterprise, which is where we usually dock, which is in the Ross 480 system or something like that. Can we pull up Dunyak Enterprise? View commodity in Galaxy Map. I want to pull up some of our saved stuff. Is it even on the list? Let's see here. Not always intuitive, this game. Compare in commodities market. I would love to compare it where we park, down here. Salon Indy, no. A little more south galactically. Dunyak Enterprise is in Ross 490, that's what it is. They'll pay us 49,000 credits for each piece of silver. Which means we're going to be making like 16,000 credits for each piece of silver that we give them. And we've got over 100 tons of storage on our ship. So we'll be making actually closer to like 1.5 million credits. So that's pretty good. The in-game like commodities comparator isn't always accurate, so I think what most people tend to do is use like third-party like websites and stuff like that. But it is cool that you can, you know, compare it in-game too and try to come up with trading routes and things like that. That's a lot of credits. I mean, some people have found ways to make like billions of credits. It's all about, you know, trading, making money to buy better ships, to make more money, that sort of thing. One thing we're considering doing is upgrading our ship here. I don't think that they sell ships here at Hutton Orbital. No, certainly not. But I had my eye on the Type 7 hauler, which has got like 3 times the cargo capacity of this, of the Spaceman 2, of the Asp Explorer. I have been wanting to play this game again. I think now is like probably a pretty good time for it, because it seems like they're paying more attention to like the world building, like the story stuff. They've got a lot of like written content. Like every day they're putting out little snippets about, you know, stuff that's happening in universe with different factions and different organizations concerning like the ongoing Thargoid stuff. And it seems like they're making, you know, more community events and things like that where, you know, the stuff that you do, you contribute toward the war effort and stuff like that, and it affects the way that systems get affected. I think it's pretty cool. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're going to buy 1 unit of Hutton mugs. Oh, they only have 68 Hutton mugs available. Wow, we couldn't even buy as many as we want to. But we're gonna buy 1 Hutton mug, just so we can say that we have it. And then we are going to buy 107 units of silver for a cost of 3.6 million, but we're gonna flip that. And we're gonna come out ahead.
Maximum capacity.
And we are full up. It is pretty cool, it is pretty cool. Alright, now before we leave the system, which is going to be tremendously easy compared to how we got here in the first place, but before we leave the system, there is also, if we check our contacts here, our navigation, there's also, for the mug, a tourist beacon. I want to check this out. We're gonna go check out a tourist beacon before we leave. We did it for the mug, you guys. We've been here for the mug. Well, I'm actually gonna properly get some sleep, have a good stream, and a wonderful day. Thanks so much for being here, Zero. We're about to wrap up pretty soon, I think. But you want them knuckles redeemed? Alright, I'll give it to you. If you're not familiar with the knuckles here on the show, we've got some pretty crickly crackly knuckles, and Zero loves to redeem it for us. So here we go. We're hitting you with the broadside here, Zero. Here's the first wave. Oh yeah, them's knuckles. Alright, how about the tips though? Can I give you some tips? Crack. Crick. There you go. And what about the thumbs? I gotcha. Bam. Oh, the left side wasn't great, but I got the elbows for you, Zero. Here you go. Oh! Oh! Joints ought not make that noise, and yet they do. It is a mystery. Hey, Orange Onion! A certified space ace, thanks so much. We appreciate having you here. Nice, nice indeed. Now, we've actually been seeing a surprising number of new space cadets today. Are you guys all fans of the Elite Dangerous series? Have you guys made it out to Hutton Orbital yourselves? This is our first time ever coming out here. Alright, we've set our destination. We're gonna disengage from the station, and we are gonna go check out what that beacon is. And launch, and retracting landing gear, and we'll start cruising, and there it is off in the distance, 4 kilometers away. Let's make a beeline. And there, that shadow we're seeing is the planet Eden, I believe. I've not played Elite Dangerous in about 6 months, says Biggs. I've been playing all day. I have missed it. Can't wait to do some exploration with my Anaconda. Anaconda's pretty nice.
Scan detected.
Why am I getting scanned? Oh, is it the station? Are we idling? See, I'm a big fan of the Lakon ships. Whoa! That snuck up on us. All right. We're gonna creep up slowly. We're gonna turn our lights back on there so we can see it a little better. Slow and low impulse, you guys. For the mug. So this is just a satellite. Let's do a little scan, shall we? Let's do a little scan. Enter FSS mode to analyze results. Oh, how do we do that again? Oh, that's just for planet stuff, though. Well, this is pretty cool, though. We get to see the little mug satellite. See if we can't get a little closer. See, this would be a great time to have like a little ship-launched fighter or something. Cool little satellite. Alright, we're about ready to jet then, I think. Ooh, I've got the original version for the original Elite for the Commodore 64. Nice. But I never got that far in it. I like the sort of open world aspect of Elite Dangerous. I think this is pretty rad. We were talking earlier about how it compares to stuff like No Man's Sky and Star Citizen, and I think Elite Dangerous still does it best when it comes to like the ship aspect. Like, forget being a character in the world, but just having this interface, like this great ship interface in front of you that you can interact with. That's what I like. That's best. Why do we keep getting scanned? Is it the station? Or are we running into other pilots right now? Look, there's other ships around. Are they trying to get to it too? Check out our contacts here.
Scan detected.
Eagles, unidentified vessels. Scan required. People be scanning us. And frankly, I don't like the notion that they could be targeting our silver. So we're gonna get a little closer to the station, just so we're in a no-fire zone. Alright, we're still within their jurisdiction. Alright, and now it's time to start plotting a way out of here. Alright, we are going to head back to the Ross 490 system, which is where Dunyak Enterprises be at, so we can sell all our silver and possibly buy ourselves a new ship. I really have been, for the longest time, thinking I'd love to get a Chieftain. But at the same time, just getting something like a Type 9. Sorry, not a Type 9, we couldn't afford that. A Type 7, though, might be great. Just to give us a little more cargo hauling capacity. Well, we'll see what we decide upon. Alright, let's plot a course. We're going to pull up the galaxy map here. We'll just put in our station. Show me the system map. Ross 490. Dunyak Enterprise. Plotted. Okay. And that is 5 jumps away. Okay, you guys, we're running silver. It's our last little leg of the day of the stream. We're gonna have more than enough fuel to get us there. Let's throttle up. We're still mass locked from the station. So once we get out of there, we will turn on our drive. And we'll be outie. There we go. Can't comply. Oh, hold on. We got hard points out? There we go.
Frameshift drive charging.
We had our scanners out. We had our scanners out. Rookie mistake. Alright, jump 1 of 5. Here we go. Fingers crossed we don't get pirated.
4,
3, 2, 1. Always the most tense part when we've got a heavy load of material. You know, a few million credits may not be a lot for some people, but for us,
Frameshift drive
when
charging.
we've hardly got any space credits, any space cash, you know, it means a lot. We don't want to get pulled over, we don't want to get raided, we don't want to get blown up just for the sport of it. We are playing in an open lobby, of course, just because it's, you know,
4,
a little more intense.
2, 1.
Here we go, that's jump 2, 3 more to go. We still got fuel to spare. I've never had to interact with, like, the fuel rats, if you guys know about them. That volunteer unit of pilots who help stranded pilots.
Fuel scooping.
Oh, and we're fuel scooping. Great.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive
Got a
charging.
little close to the star there. Alright, here's jump 3.
Four, three, two, one. Engage.
Though I don't think we've ever been pulled over, interdicted by another player character. It's always just been NPCs doing it to us. So they're never really that hard to get away from. I think that's the benefit of sort of staying away from super populated systems. I've always said this would be like the perfect game for a VR setup. Maybe we'll have to try that out someday.
4, 3,
2, 1, and just one more to go after this. And it's a bit more manual docking, though with a station we're actually familiar with. For it to cool down. There we go. And we're on our way to Ross 490.
four, three,
2, 1. This will be it. So all that silver, 107 tons of silver. We're gonna flip that for, like I was saying, probably about 1.5 million credits in profit. Where are you? Where are you? There we go. 595 light seconds out. Hardly an issue compared to our big long trek out to Hutton Orbital. We can now say we've done that. Local contacts, nothing to worry about. Alright, so because we are cruising at close to 10 times the speed of light, we'll get there in about a minute. And we're gonna just keep that nice and steady. Don't want to overshoot it. Ram shift drive is speeding us up. It's trying to help, but it's not being very helpful. Alright, 20 seconds out. Alright, and we're slowing. Nice, easy approach. Want to overshoot it like we did with Hutton Orbital. Cognac Enterprise dead ahead. "20 seconds and counting. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for flying Spaceman Airways. We know you have a choice in your preferred selection of streamer, and we appreciate your patronage here on the show. Alright, here we go. Get under 1 light second soon. We are actually increasing speed there. Got other ship contacts. I always thought that, like, originally when I started playing, I thought that those were, how you say, like shooting stars and stuff like that. I didn't realize they were other players. Oh no, are we gonna, yep. I was focused on other stuff there for a sec. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? We're close though, we're pretty close though. There we are, yeah, we're just 2 megameters, 2 million meters out. Once we're below 1, we can drop. There we go. Not even a problem. Let's pull into port.
Lakeland Victor Echo Charlie. You're through to Starcom Flight Operations Department. Please comply with station protocol.
Let's call it in.
Request approved. Adjust heading for approach to pad 37.
Pad 37. Okay. Let's adjust here. We want to line ourselves up. You know, we can get a little closer than that though. Before we start turning, before we start pitching down. Thing about these ships is they do not change orientation the same in all directions. Oh dear, so we can pitch pretty quickly. Might actually be able to manage this. Yeah. Oh, but we're a little high. But we're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. Whew. And there it is, dead ahead. 37. Alright, let's bring it in. Nice and easy. Landing gear down. I don't know, there's just something about a game where you have to deploy your landing gear,
Landing gear deployed.
which automatically makes it just a little more immersive. Smooth as eggs. Look at this. Perfect landing, though. All manual. Getting into the station? We could argue about that one. But the landing, though. The landing, though. Alright, we refuel. And we're gonna sell a buttload of silver. Silver, silver, silver. Look at that, we could sell the Hutton mug, but why would we sell the Hutton mug? Frankly, I think that's something that should be something we could put on our dashboard. That would be the best way to do it. Like all those bobbleheads and stuff you can get. Alright, we're gonna sell 107 units of silver for a 1.6 million credit profit. Nice, not bad.
Incoming message.
I'll take that. Oh, incoming message. What happened here? Did we rank up or something? What do we got? What do we got? Good day, Commander. We are pleased to inform you your reputation status with the LHS 2541 Alliance Combine has been raised to cordial. You should keep completing successful operations with us to enhance your reputation further. Hey, cool. Thanks. I don't 100% know what that means, but that's great. It's nice to know we're making friends out here in space. Alright, let's take a look at hull integrity. Paintwork is still fine. Repair structural elements for 50 credits will do. Alright, and that, guys, whew, was our big mission for the day. The long drive out to Hutton Orbital. Back to civilized space. We made a couple credits along the way. And we made a few friends along the way, too. And isn't that the real victory when you think about it? I think so. I think so. So we are going to put ourselves away in the hangar. We're gonna dock here for a while. And we're gonna call it quits for the day, you guys. Let's head on back over to the main screen and we will close out the show. For those of you who just joined us today, you probably haven't seen this screen, but welcome to the Vector Spaceman Show. I'm, of course, your host, Vector Spaceman, and here we are at Harbor Station. Now, you may notice there's a certain sort of aesthetic that's going on here. We definitely try to model ourselves. We do all of our own background work, live 2D work, everything really, based around sort of like a mid-2000s web, like Flash animated aesthetic. That's kind of what we got going on here. Great stream. How often do you stream? We stream at least, usually at least 2 times a week. Here's what you can do, you guys. You can check us out not just here on Twitch, but also over on YouTube and Twitter, which is where we usually post our schedules for the week. Those usually go up either Sundays or Mondays. And then we'll do, a couple of streams during the week. We usually do a stream on Sunday afternoons, usually 8 p.m. Eastern for weekdays, 2 p.m. Eastern for weekends, that sort of thing. Tends to be our usual schedule. Also try to keep it updated here on Twitch as well. But yeah, we do all sorts of stuff. We do games, we do music, we do animated videos. You guys should check some of those out over on the Vector Spaceman YouTube page. We do a number of full-length animated specials involving the Vector Spaceman character and a number of other live 2D animated virtual streamers, sci-fi based personalities. We got a whole thing going. It's pretty rad. But that's going to be it for our show today, you guys. Now, we don't want to leave you high and dry. Before we go, let's take a gander, let's take a look-see over on Twitch, see if any of our friends of the show are streaming today. Maybe we'll send you off on a raid, maybe we'll go say hi, maybe we'll keep things rolling here. Why, it looks like... Wow, it doesn't look like anything's going on, unfortunately. That's all right. We'll just call it quits for today, and we'll let you all get back to your lovely Sunday afternoon. So, you guys, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in today, wherever and whenever you are. Thanks, of course, for the follows, our newest space cadets, our newest Space Ace certified space cadets like Orange Onion, Biggs, everybody that we got to meet today, Marikilo, Von Locke, everybody who is tuning in. Thanks for being here. I hope we get to see you again real soon. Until then, of course, no matter what life throws your way, good luck and Godspeed. We'll be back at least on Wednesday. I know we've got one show planned for Wednesday, at the very least, regular time, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here at Harbor Station. We'll catch you on the other side. Until then, of course, as we say, no matter what life throws your way, good luck, Godspeed. Have a great rest of your weekend, you guys. This is Vector Spaceman signing off. Take care.